Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of JD's Wildcat World. On this episode, I look back at last Saturday's good performance against the Penn Quakers. The Cats win by a score of 81-66. I predicted a 14-point win last week before the spread came out, and Cats go on to win it by 15. A Rob Dillingham 3 at the end officially covered and was a big shot. So I really thought that, this was a solid bounce-back performance from the bad loss against UNC Wilmington. The game went almost exactly like I thought it would go, to be honest with you. I knew Penn would hit some shots. They've got shooters at the guard position that are really good and can even get to the rim. So I thought we did a pretty good job of defending them, limiting them to 66. I will definitely take that defensive performance from this team. So Cats, especially in the second half, look good. I think when we all look back on this game as the season ends, later on we're going to refer to this as the Aaron Bradshaw game. We saw what Bradshaw can give us. Ends with 17 points and 11 rebounds. Dude was all over the place, to be honest with you. Played really good defense, scored it on offense, was there to clean up defensive mistakes on the perimeter. He altered shots, blocked a shot or two, and he's really going to help us on the inside. We desperately needed at least one of our 7-footers back, and we got him, and he's playing at a very high level right now, and I think he'll be a good matchup for Bacot again that plays for North Carolina, so we'll see. But there's rumor going around that Hugo might play. To be honest with you, I don't know if I would expect that. If he does, good. I'd be glad, but we will see. I really like the way we're playing. I really like the way we played on Saturday, even with Bradshaw in there. Seemed to play the same way. And I still don't think we took enough threes. I only took 20. Like I've said all year, I think this team needs to take 30 to 35 threes. Only hit 8 of them. That we were shooting a little off, but we did things in other ways. We got points in other ways. Rob Dillingham also 17 points and played really well, could score the ball with ease against the Penn guards. Just very, very good bounce-back performance. The Cats are up to 14th now in the AP poll, and we played 9th-ranked North Carolina this Saturday. I'm really not – if you all watched the game, it was what it was. The first half wasn't the best, but we got up by, I think, 16-17, looked really good, and then they kind of clawed their way back in, went down only 10 going into the break. But like I said, pretty much the only thing to say. I mean, Reed Shepherd also played very well. Didn't score it a lot, but played well. I'm still, I really hope that Justin Edwards gets it going pretty soon. Only played 14 minutes. I know he had 4 fouls, but, we need him to elevate his game. And is that going to come? I guess we'll see. You all know on this podcast we don't tear kids down or the players down or the team. But I'm really hoping that Edwards can get it going because we need it. We definitely need him to score more than what he's scoring. And he didn't even attempt a 3, which was pretty shocking on Saturday. So DJ Wagner comes back from injury, and you could tell, especially on the defensive end, he was desperately needed. Goes for 9.7 boards, but did so many other good things on the defensive end. And, man, it was glad to have him back. I said from the beginning of the season, I think, and even at Penn sitting at 6-5 right now, they're now 7-5 after they beat Howard on Monday. I think that, that's a team from the Ivy League that could win the conference and make the tournament. It seems like all these mid-major teams that we've played have been solid opponents, and Penn was no different. I think a 15-point performance is very, very acceptable. So I'd like to see us tighten it up a little bit more. We did let them hit 9 threes on us, but we scored so much it didn't really matter. So there was a time, I think it was in the second half, where maybe at the beginning of the second half, where Penn was it felt like every shot they threw up was going in, and so we did good responding to that. So Cats win 81-66, win by 15. And now, what you all have been waiting for, I'm sure of it, because this is probably the biggest game in college basketball. Well, Arizona and Purdue is also a very good game. That's probably top game of the day. But North Carolina and Kentucky is definitely up there. So you got the number 9 Tar Heels coming in to face the number 14 Cats in Atlanta, part of the CBS Sports Classic, and that's Saturday at 5:30 on CBS. So North Carolina comes in off of a loss to UConn. Carolina has been up and down this season. It seems like they come in with the same record as us, but you could argue Villanova is not a very good loss. They lost to Nova in overtime. Beat Arkansas and Tennessee, so they're undefeated against SEC opponents this season. They faced 2 and 1-2, so I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. On paper, it feels like Kentucky is the better team, but that doesn't always mean you win the game. Obviously, the number one guy that the Cats are going to have to look out for is R.J. Davis. Dude has been in college for approximately, it feels like 14 years, but he is a baller, and we've definitely got. I think DJ should do a pretty good job on him. RJ's going to get his. He's going to score. As long as we just don't let him score at will, I like that matchup. So he's averaging 21 a game. Of course, our Armando Bacot is averaging 12 boards a game. The games I've watched, even though he's averaging 16 points a game, the games I've watched, he hasn't been much of a scorer. But I'll be anxious to see how Aaron Bradshaw handles that matchup. And, I like that matchup as well. I like the way we match up with the Tar Heels. So, in previous years, you haven't been able to say that, but just person for person, guy for guy, I feel like we match up well with Carolina. They come in and they do score it. I mean, they definitely do score it. They're averaging 85 a game. But that's the number one thing we do is score the ball. So we're averaging right at 90 a game right now. But we are going to have to get down and defend. The Cats are going to have to defend, especially R.J. Davis. I expect him. He'll probably have a big game, but I don't think it'll be like a 40-point performance or anything like that. I think DJ is good enough defensively to stop him. My main question going into this game, and I hate to put it all on one guy because our team is so balanced. Everybody scores it. Everybody does the right things. But can Antonio Reeves show up and shoot it, be a volume shooter in a big game? And I think we'll get another answer to that question on Saturday. Can he play like he usually does in normal games on a big stage? And hopefully Reeves answers that call. It wouldn't surprise me if when the spread comes out, North Carolina's a favorite, to be honest with you, just because of their schedule, the people they've played. They've only lost to UConn and Villanova. Of course, we have that loss against UNC Wilmington. So, but I think it's not a must-win by any means. It's too early in the year to be a must-win, but this is how you prove to the college basketball world that UNC Wilmington game was a fluke. You go out and you beat a top 10 school on an alternate floor, and you pretty much trade out. You wipe away that loss, and you're sitting at 8-2 with a should be top 10 ranking if you beat Carolina, who's ranked 9th. I know some ranked teams have lost this week. I know I saw Creighton lost, and there was someone else above us that also lost. My mind's going blank right now, but I'll definitely have to look at that. But Creighton lost to UNLV by 15, and maybe that was it. So, tonight or tomorrow night, Gonzaga plays UConn. That was the one I was kind of putting down as an L for them, but they could win that game. We'll see. But in my opinion, if we were to win this game, I think you vault the Cats up to at least 10, maybe even higher. So we'll see. You all know that the AP poll isn't consistent with what we think should happen. So we will see. But if you win this game, and I'm assuming we beat Louisville and Illinois State, go into conference play 10-2. The SEC kind of seems like it's somewhat down compared to what we thought it was going to be. The first whole month of SEC play, as of now, you don't play a ranked opponent. So that's not good for the tournament resume. That's one of the reasons why I think this is such a big game for us, and I really want to win it. This will definitely be a quad 1 win if we can get that. And that's the only concerning thing about the SEC schedule. You see games and you're like, well, we should win them. But even if you do, it doesn't do it's not very resume boosting. But if you were to lose some of these upcoming conference games, it could kill your resume. So we'll see. But I think, I'm excited. I'm excited to see our guys on a big stage. Last time we were on a big stage against Miami at home, we blew them out. Before that it was Kansas, the number 1 team in the country without our bigs. Lost by 5 in a very good game, played very well. Probably should have won that game, to be honest with you. But, I think I like the Cats, and I really do. I like the way we match up. I think Rob Dillingham, Antonio Reeves, Reed Shepherd, I think those guys, as it has been all year, I think they will have big games and lead us to a dub. I think the Cats win against North Carolina. I think it's liable to be a track meet, just like Miami was supposed to be. I mean, Miami still scored 73 on us and we scored 95, but it was an up and down game. And I think that this has the possibility to be too. I think this will be a very close game. I think Kentucky wins by a score of 86-81. I'll take the Cats by 5. And we will have to close the game out by hitting free throws. We did that against St. Joe's. That's a game that pops off to me in my mind that we did a very good job of closing that game out and knocking down our free throws. So I like the Cats by 5. I think, wouldn't surprise me if we get down early, come back, or, if we come out of the gate. Nothing surprises me with this team, to be honest with you, because you never know, especially in college basketball, what team you're going to get. For the most part, though, I will say this team's been consistently good, but we do start very slow. So be aware of that, and we'll see if that happens. We should have a good crowd in Atlanta. Catlanta should be rocking. We'll see. But I like the Cats 86-81. And my MVP, I feel like every time a big game comes around, I pick Justin Edwards, and he just hasn't been it yet. So let's hope I do not pick him and he absolutely goes off. And this is the game where Justin Edwards is here. So hopefully that happens. But I'm going to go with Antonio Reeves. I think I touched on it just a minute ago. He is known in big games to not hit shots. I think that changes for the first time in a very long time. I think Reeves is the volume shooter that he is at home. And I think he gets it done. I think he goes for 20-plus points and leads the Cats to victory. Once again, this team's so balanced. I could see him going for 20, Rob going for 15, and Reed going for 15. I mean, these guys, they're all very talented, and I definitely look forward to watching them for the rest of the season. But let's go out. Let's get a big win. Let's show the college basketball world that the UNC Wilmington game was a fluke. I'm of the belief, honestly, and people that have asked me, what did you see in that UNC Wilmington game that, just didn't click like it was? And, number one thing that jumped out to me as far as ball control and ball handling, we miss DJ Wagner, and we also miss him on the defensive end. You can say, teams miss players all the time, and they still win that game. Yes, that's true. But I think it caught us by surprise that, we couldn't seem to handle the ball. That hasn't been an issue all year. We really don't turn it over that much. But that game, we turned it over a lot. So I think that's the number one thing. I think not necessarily a fluke. I mean, they're a very solid team. I think they will go in the tournament. I think they will get in the tournament. But, I want to touch on that. I've got several messages. Well, it's just Calipari doing his thing. But I think, that won't end up being a very bad loss. So, let's go get this win Saturday, work on building that resume, and hopefully work our way up the seed line for the NCAA tournament. And as always, it's Go Cats. I want to thank you all before I get off here. Really thank you all for listening. And the podcast is up over 1,000 total Spotify impressions. So, that's awesome to see. Thank you all for sharing the podcast on Spotify and Apple. Continue to rate and review and subscribe. And I definitely want to say thank you, and continue to listen if you all are enjoying it. I'm enjoying doing it. It's just like my NASCAR podcast. I love doing it during NASCAR season because that's main sport I enjoy during that time of the year. And Kentucky sports are a lifeblood around these parts. So it's all we all bleed blue. So thank you all, and we're all on the same goal. We're ready to watch these Cats hopefully win a national title, and hope you all are around for that. So as always, it's Go Cats, and thank you all for listening to JD's Wildcat World.